Hi, I'm Ease of Easy Living Foods.
And I'm Magdalena from Hormones Balance.
Thanks for coming to part 3 of sprouting. The first part was soaking, where we learned about digestive inhibitors and releasing those to increase the bioavailability of the seeds, nuts, and legumes like 400%.
Yeah.
The easiest thing we can do to increase our nutrition.
And then we talked about sprouting, which was a big part of Ease's recovery healing path.
Yes, the phytonutrients from the sprouts directly helped my cells and can help all of us. So the phytonutrients of a sprout directly gives us that boost to our immune system.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Yeah.
And the third part now is sprouting in dirt. So some things need dirt, some things are fine in water. So look, dirt first is
Literally.
my idea. Yes. And dirt is so important. I think it's really exciting.
You know, there was a campaign once that was done. It was called Dirt is Good. It's
Yes.
so good. It's so true. We need more of that.
And one thing I recently learned is that dirt has a benign bacteria in it that increases serotonin.
Wow.
So it actually gives us a dirt high to get in and work in our garden.
Wow.
Isn't nature just so generous to
Wow.
us? So I think that's great.
You know, it's so funny. Like, intuitively, a lot of times when I, for example, prepare vegetables, I don't like to, peel my carrots. I like to just scrub them and leave the dirt on. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like an intuitive thing. I didn't know about the serotonin thing.
Yeah.
Serotonin, happy hormone. There we have it.
Love that dirt. Okay. So when you're making your dirt, I use peat moss, which really holds in the water. And you want it to be a little bit more loamy, so nothing really clay-like. So if you have a little bit of sand without salt, feel free to add that. This is about 1/2 inch of soil, and it's been sitting in water so that the peat moss can soak it up. Pretty simple, right? Let's go on to the seeds. So what do you want to sprout? Wheatgrass is one of the most common that we see around. Gluten-free. Yes, I know. Don't you feel good just being near it?
Want to lie on it.
Yes. So that's our beautiful wheatgrass. Starts with red winter wheat berries. We soak them in water overnight. I have sprouting pea, and they were soaked, and they get about 50%
So these
bigger.
guys are the same. It's just these guys are soaked and these ones are not.
Right. These are
Right.
the dry that I can buy. And then also sunflower seeds in the hull.
Yeah. So can I just mention one thing about the wheat berries? Wheat berries, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So whoever's keeping gluten free, this is not a good thing for you to consume, right? Because this is where the gluten is found.
In the berry.
In the berry.
Right.
And then for most people, doing wheatgrass is perfectly good. It's super helpful. We want to be doing juicing and with it, and everybody knows it's the most alkalizing food you could ever find. Here's an interesting thing. I have found people who are super sensitive to gluten who can do the grass. So just be careful with that. If just because everybody says wheatgrass is great.
And gluten-free.
Gluten-free is great.
It still is intolerant to many people.
For some people. So just a word of caution there.
And I love to take just a teaspoon to try something like that.
Yeah. Anything new that we're trying, we always recommend to try it first. I mean, bee pollen is wonderful, but there are people who are very allergic to bee pollen. So you always want to try with a minimal amount first. Okay, great.
All right, let's plant them.
All right.
Over to you. Show us how easy it is.
Do you want me to use these or these?
We're going to do one of each. So
Okay,
how about
great.
starting with the wheatgrass?
All right.
So you want to spread it thick. It's actually going to stand on top of each other because, as you can see, there's just so many grains. And we're actually going to use that whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
One thing I want to talk about is sprout safety. Now, that's one of the critical things in a sprout industry is that there have been cases, and you can use your hand, and then you're actually going to want to pat it down because seeds like to be firmly
grounded.
Yeah.
Even seeds like to be grounded.
Yes, even they like a little pressure on them too. And just an aside is actually I will put this tray on top of this one to keep it feeling
pressed.
Keep it pressed.
Yeah.
Right. So sprout safety. How to keep sprouts from getting bad bacteria, salmonella, things that can really make us sick, and we've seen those in the industry around the world. So I'm a member of the International Sprout Growers Association, And they're the leading edge of how to treat and what the process you need to use to have safely sprouted sprouts. For an industry person, you pre-treat with calcium hypochlorite. Now that's a chlorine. Not my first choice.
Right.
Not any choice I would choose.
Yeah.
And it lowers the germination, but certainly it kills all the bad bacteria.
So do we use it or as a precaution? Or?
I didn't.
Okay.
In home sprouting, I don't. And what I do in home sprouting, and there's been lots of tests on this, the FDA has not agreed that this is an effective method yet for the industry,
Yeah.
but it's food-grade hydrogen peroxide
Right.
in a 10% solution. When I soaked both of these, I would also now put it through a rinse for 15 seconds of the food-grade hydrogen peroxide.
How much would you use that in your rinse?
So a 10% solution, usually food grade starts at a 35% solution, so you're going to dilute it by 2/3.
Okay, all right. And
Right.
and you just literally soaking it for 15 seconds?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, just
Right.
wash it in it, and then you can actually keep it and reuse it.
Right.
Not that this is so expensive,
Yeah.
but it's not always the easiest to get.
Right.
But that really makes it safe for home sprouting. So I really encourage you to do that. It's certainly what I do at home, and I just, I feel really good about
I
that.
think this is, would you recommend this for people who are just a little bit more afraid of germs or for anyone really? Because I certainly wouldn't do that because I just feel like I will take the risk. I don't know. That's just me.
Well, there's
But
two
would you-
ways to do it. So why don't you go ahead and do the peas and go ahead and put that underneath so it gets the pressure. Nope, actually, go ahead and put it right
put
on
it
there.
right in.
Isn't that interesting?
Okay.
Yeah, you can actually
Okay.
build it up 3 or 4 at a time.
The whole thing?
Yeah, let's do the whole thing and see how crowded it is. So let me show you. So these are sunflower seeds that were soaked, and then they've been sprouting for 4 days in dirt. So if I didn't pre-treat, 2 tests that I do is I actually look for a little mold, and then I smell it. Smells like good, clean dirt. Now, dirt has a smell, so it does have good bacteria in it. So it's not to be concerned, but you are looking. And oftentimes, so these are the sunflower, and they will get to be about this tall, like those, but it'll take another 6 days. Yeah.
Cool.
And then let me show you a 4 or 5 day old wheatgrass. Can you see too? What I like is this
Oh, wow.
this hedge that it's
Wow,
getting.
it's like a brush.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's not thin like the grass yet, and it's just been actually out in the light for maybe an hour. And look how it's already started greening up. And I'll explain to you how we got to this point. But wheatgrass in particular can get a mold going. And it happens down at the soil line right in here. And this is just so beautiful because not an issue at all. So if there is, it's not that I don't eat it. I just cut above it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, well done. You finished that.
Thank you.
So let's start the sprouting process.
Okay.
And they want to live in the dark.
Ah.
Right? Seeds are sowed in the dirt, and they're in the dark, and then they grow toward the light. So same thing with our sprouts, is if you would put both of those trays in here. Nice. We will close it up, and you do it tightly because now it's its own micro environment.
Right.
It's got enough water. We actually can leave it for 3 days.
And we're not concerned about lack of oxygen.
No, it's fine. It's off-gassing.
Okay.
It's creating oxygen as it's starting to grow.
Okay.
And you can leave that for 3 days. No need to do anything. Then 3 days, check it, see how the water is. Maybe spray it, add more water. And on the 4th or 5th day, depending on how big it is, then it's time to go out in the light. And you are going to want to spray these or soak them in water once to twice a day. And then wait 8, 9, 10 days, depending on how high you like to harvest these. Take a pair of scissors, a nice sharp knife, eat your sprouts, juice your wheatgrass, and grow your own life.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
I mean,
know?
this is something that can be done even in an apartment.
Definitely.
You
In
know
a
what I mean?
windowsill.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. This is wonderful. And so we do exactly the same thing with sprouts that we talked about in our sprouting video, that it's a wonderful addition to soups. We can use that in wraps, that you will see a video about that as well, in wraps. Putting that into smoothies. We love to put that into a juice,
Mhm.
and then throwing, not juicing these necessarily, but you can throw that into a Vitamix after the juice is done, and just blending the sprouts.
I wouldn't so much do that with wheatgrass.
Wheatgrass, no, but yeah, sorry, I was moment.
No, but I tried the wheatgrass again
Okay.
last week, and it was just too grassy.
right.
Too much fiber.
Yeah.
But yes, definitely for the other sprouts, could be the green peas, sunflower, buckwheat, very pretty. And then if you want to do microgreens,
Right.
you can do kale and broccoli,
Yeah.
which are really great phytonutrient.
Yeah, red clover is definitely my favorite, especially
Oh,
menopausal women.
yes,
so
the
for the
phytoestrogens.
phytoestrogens are wonderful.
Exactly.
What a profile to have. I mean, this is your medicine, right? This is what I always call that. This is your steroids. So your supplements and steroids. Really, that's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, bringing this into your life. Can I? I'm gonna take a little bite.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's actually good.
It is. It is. And good for you. I had to develop a taste, and now I just love it. I want it every day. And I hope you do too.